What's going on with this boy JTLive? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. And there is no place else to talk about than Leeds United 0, Norwich City 0. The first leg of the playoff semi-finals is in the books. And Leeds have drawn 0-0 against Norwich at, obviously, Norwich's home ground, away from home at Carrow Road. It's a decent result for Leeds. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It keeps everything square going into the second leg. At least we don't have a deficit to come behind from. And to be honest, with the way the game was going, 0-0 is not a bad result, because it was a pretty damp squib of a game. Both sides looked a little bit hesitant, a little bit cagey. It just took a little while before the life of the game got going, in my opinion. It felt like a first leg, if you know what I mean. Everything is still there to play for in the second leg, and I'm not mad at the result. Now, the performance we will get into first. I want to know what you guys have to think. First of all, let's start at the first aspect we all saw, which was the lineup. Very interesting lineup. Putting Archie Gray in the number 10 role. You know, he just seems to be getting further and further up the pitch now. For a guy who's been playing right back for most of the season, now being in the number 10 in our most important game of the season, certainly raised a few people's eyebrows and certainly raised questions from people. But I thought he played very well in that role. I thought he had good hold-up play. I thought he had good close control. He's good back to goal in that area, and he's got great ability to link up the play. I didn't think he was actually that bad. Yes, he's a little bit slight. He's a little bit slim. He could do with bulking up a little bit, especially to play in that role. But he has got the height and stature to really have a presence in that attacking midfield role. And I felt like that's exactly what he did today. Would I still play that role, especially in hindsight? No, I would not have. I would have put him in holding midfield. I would have probably taken Grev out of the team. And I would have put Joseph up front. I don't understand what Joseph has to do to get started up front. And if you're going to sit here and say, well, it's too big of a gamble when he hasn't played recently, why did you not play him in the last 8 games of the season? Give him any game time. Why not? Every time he's been on the pitch, he's looked like he could do something. Doesn't make any sense to me. You played him against Chelsea. You won't play him against Norwich. And furthermore, you've already shown that you're willing to take risks you've never done before by putting Archie Gray in the number 10 role. That's probably more risky than putting Joseph up front, because it's not like up front we had a lot going on up there. You know, a lot of people are going to be criticising Jorginho Rutter. He's not playing in his natural position. He's not a number 9. He needs someone in front of him that can break the lines, that can make runs in behind, that can distract defenders, that can alleviate pressure off him to give him his own space in that number 10 pocket where he can drop deep, pick up the ball and drive it forward. That's what he's best at. He's not best at running the lines as the number 9 for Leeds United. That's not his game. He's a lot better when he starts a little bit further deeper, in my opinion, and a lot of your guys' opinions. In fact, please let me know, do you think I'm talking gibberish or do you think I'm talking fact? Let's talk about fact. Anyway, we move on to the actual performance. First half, Leeds started off decently, had that call which should have been a penalty early doors, and then after that kind of dripped off a little bit. Norwich had a decent foothold within the first half, almost got a couple of goals, nothing really too threatening, at least defensively from Leeds. I thought we did look decent enough back there, and then in terms of us actually creating something, last 5 or 10 minutes, we started to come back into it. We started to turn the gears a bit, have a little bit of creative force going forward, but no end product, no real creativity or imagination within the final third in order to get Leeds that goal that we so desperately needed. But overall, I thought Leeds still held ourselves to a pretty good standard within the first half. And then the second half, I felt like we were by far the more dominant side. I thought we had a lot more of a control of the ball. The actual possession we had, a lot of it was in their final third. We've got ourselves into quite threatening situations. We just didn't have that final piece of the jigsaw, that piece of creativity to actually cut teams open, and it just became very slow. Like, we weren't making moves quickly. We were overthinking things. We were taking way too long to get the ball out of our feet, way too long to make those runs into the channel, and everything just seemed a little bit lethargic in terms of creativity-wise for Leeds United. That would be my main takeaway the second half. I still thought we were the better side, but not good enough in terms of actually trying to win the match for Leeds. And as for the changes, why is Joseph still not getting a crack? He's put Perot in instead in the 70th minute. Rutter came off. And again, people say because he was shit. Well, he's not playing in his actual position. That's why. He's not meant to be the number 9. Why is he playing there? We knew it from game 1 he's not number 9. And he's still playing in number 9. In the third, well, all being well, the third from last game of the season. All being well. And that's, with Leeds doing the unthinkable and getting to the playoff final. Maybe doing the unthinkable there and potentially winning it. But I don't understand why we're doing it. I don't understand why he doesn't use Joseph or Gelhard in there. And I know you're going to turn around and say, too risky, too risky. Risks bear rewards. You need to take risks. And he's taken enough of a risk putting Archie Gray in 10. So he could definitely take that risk of putting Joseph or someone else up there. But nonetheless, those were the changes he made. Jaden Anthony came off for Wilfred Gnonto, who I thought was actually our brightest spark in the game. I thought Wilfred Gnonto was the player who, within the time he was on the pitch, looked the most threatening for Leeds. He was the player who was giving us a lot more of an outlet. Every single time we came forward with the ball, he was giving an outlet. He was driving down the channel. He had a lot of energy. He had a lot of hunger. And he was the most impressive player, in my opinion, shortly followed by Senior Firpo. But I thought he outshone Summerville today. And I love Summerville. Summerville's my favourite player right now, along with Senior Firpo and, of course, Jorginho Rater. But I didn't think he had his best game today, and I thought Gnonto outshone him a little bit. But you need to keep Summerville ticking around, ready for that second leg, so that he can be the man to win it for us, or maybe even Gnonto. But as I said, I was impressed with Gnonto, and that's something I'm looking forward to in the second leg also. And there are some positive sparks, and I will leave it on the positive end of things. But before I do, please let me know in the comment section down below, what did you make of Wilfred Gnonto? Who did you think was our best player? Do you agree with me that it is Gnonto? Do you think it was still Summerville? Who do you think it was? Please, please, please let me know. But finally, I do just want to say, for me, the draw, I'm happy with it. And I'll tell you why I'm happy with it, because I've said it before. I know you're going to call me superstitious or crazy or OCD, whatever it is. I just don't feel confident in us beating the same team 4 times in one season. 3 times at a push is a lot. You saw it with the derby before. Beat them 3 times, lost the 4th. Do I see us beating them 4 times in one season? No. Do I see us potentially beating them 3 times and drawing 1? Yes. Now that seems a lot more feasible for me. We've won 2, drawn 1. Now, final game, home game, second leg. All to play for, nothing to rest for. We can't sit back and just try and, not really go for the jugular, try and hold on to a lead. We don't have a lead to hold on to this time. We have to go in for the kill, try and get a couple of goals early, try and get some momentum going that game. And we have to get the win against Norwich, and we have to do it convincingly. That is my takeaway. I have confidence because of the fact that we drew that first leg. I have confidence that Leeds will go on and hopefully win the second leg. Please let me know what you guys think, though. Are you feeling confident or not after that first performance? What would you potentially change in the second one? Please, I really want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.